welcome back to another episode. Today I need to check whether or not my ABS fix has worked. I've enlisted a helper to do some camera work for me, but you may remember from the last episode I haven't fitted the wheel hubs that have come with the same reluctor ring on it. Instead it came with the sort of H-gate kind of things. I don't know what you call them, but I'll put a picture up on the screen. And I don't know if they're going to work, so put a wheel back on, going to connect it up to the diagnostics, spin the wheel, see if I get any readings on it. If not, I'll be taking them both back off and I'll be getting new wheel bearings, so fingers crossed. Any B-roll footage is fine. Right, we want read data stream, wheel speed sensor, front right, confirm. So keep filming that, so if I spin this wheel, we should see that result go up. Ready?
Yeah.
What am I getting?
You're getting 6.
There we go, it's reading it. If I go faster.
Yeah, it's going up to 11.
So I can spin that 11 kph. Right, got the passenger side wheel on, let's see if this one works as well. So I've got wheel speed front left and front right on here now. Wheel speed front left and front right. So if I spin this one, yeah, we got 987 there. Both reading?
Yeah.
Left stopped. Matthew was picking that up, so I think those wheel bearings are a success. I've also managed to bag myself a very cheap temporary bumper for the front of it.
Just going to start to say a big shout out to Z Shed, not the one in Warrington, but the one in Basingstoke. Joycey down there sorted me out with that bumper for an absolute steal, and he's been a delight. So go check him out. Yeah, he's got a good setup.
Matching colours. At least it's starting to look a little bit more like a Z4 again now. So I need to get the headlights in. I won't have any grills and I won't have any badges, but I just need it to get it to an MOT and do me for a couple of weeks until my Z4M bumper's here. So headlights in. I've also got to take off my Z4M scoops because they don't fit with it on. Take them off. Headphones in. Headlights in. Headlights in, button it all up, driver.
Eventually.
Welcome back, sports fans, to the Z4. Thanks for the feedback on the last video. Bit of a longer format, but yeah, I think you're all enjoying it, so I'm going to try and keep that. Which is good, really, because we've got a lot to get on with today. In fact, I've got a list of things to do. Let's start from the top of my list. I have got final Z4 bits. Right, here's our list. I've got this is in no particular order. I've got to put brand new clips on the door card so the door card stays attached to the door, because it's very inconvenient when it doesn't. I got to refit one of my downpipes, the one that I took off to do the gear gate thing. But before I do that, I've got to do some repairs to the heat shield to stop that from rattling, because that would drive me insane. I got to put coolant in it. I've got to put the clips on the rad support. I don't know what that means. Clips on rad support. Oh, I know. That's the top of the rad support. I've got to secure that back down. I've got to torque the wheel bearing nuts up to 290 newton meters, and then put the caps back on. I've got to re-secure my seats and not forgetting the seat belts. I got to fit my headlights, but I've got to replace the LED side lights with some normal. I've written here normal fucking bulbs. I got to refit, but I've got a bumper to fit. I've got to refit the under tray, refit the airbox, and I've also got to refit the crossbar thing on the radiator support that I've resprayed black. So
we've got a lot to be getting on with today, plus whatever else I've forgotten in between, which is probably something. But so a nice day. Let's talk in more action, eh? Right, time to talk these bad boys up. 290 Newton meters is what I need. Let's wind it all the way up to 290. It's a long way, lads. 290. It's going to take some heave-ho in, this is. She might already be there up again. Let's see if I can get that. A bit further up. Yeah, I think that's tight. Right, next thing is to make sure that I've knocked these into these little slots here to stop the nut from backing off. Not, I think, a 290 Newton meter nut's going to come backing off. Job's a good in. Now I can get the wheels back on, but I'm not going to put them on just now. I'm not going to put them on just now. I'm going to give this a bit of a jet wash later on, I think. Get it all nice and clean. Alright, that's one job off the list. Next job, I think I'm going to get underneath and reattach my down pipe. Or not my down pipe, maybe, is it a down pipe? Anyway, there's a section of exhaust I need to repair, but I also need to repair some heat shield stuff first, so I'm going to remind myself of what needs to be done and maybe fashion up some little, or some big washers out or something that I've got lying around. Get it all buttoned back up. Sun's bright in my eyes again. Sorry, I don't know why I face this way, lads. Right, a bit of a wide angle lens just to show you what I'm dealing with. Let me go wipe the lens a minute. That's better. Right, down pipe. From here to there. And the pipe is there. First, I've got this bit of heat shield that's low here. And I don't know where the fastener is for that. But I noticed this side should be connected with this plastic one. I've got spare ones of these. So what I think I'm doing, I'm going to undo this. I'm going to try and slot that under there a little bit, and redo it and do it back up just to sandwich that bit up. And then I'm going to put a new plastic washer on this bit, maybe with a little bit of something underneath it, just to stop it. Question is the plastic one going to melt? Time will tell, my dearest viewers. Alright, let's go and get some spare bits. A good thing about having a crash damaged car is it gives you lots of plastic bits to drill holes in, with the hope that you can then use them as washers to hold up heat shields. Yes, I know plastic above an exhaust, but look, we're just going to see what happens, kids, alright? And I can't do this with one hand and film, so ready, steady, magic! And this has worked delightfully. My little washer up there, that's solid. I've also done what I said here, I've taken this one off, sandwiched this under there and replaced that with a new nut. So the only one missing now is this one, and the stud snapped, so there's literally nothing I can do about that unless I want to sink a self-tapper into the frame, which I don't. So now, onto the exhaust. There's one exhaust successfully connected. Although this bolt up here, I couldn't initially get off, and it is a little bit loose, but I'm hoping it's going to be tight enough so it doesn't blow. Otherwise, I'm going to have to try and get like a reciprocal saw to cut that bolt off and put a new one in. Which I don't want to have to do, but so I'll see if it blows.
We don't worry, don't look up here. Bad. Right, exhaust and heat shield ticked off the list. I'm facing this direction again, but I don't know why. Exhaust and heat shield ticked off the list. Now the only thing that's requiring me from keeping this car up in the air at the minute is the bumper not being fitted and the under trigger not being fitted. So that's my next step, get the bumper, the headlights and the bumper installed. First of all, I need to remove my Z4 scoops, and that's just 2 bolts and a plastic trim bit each side. So I'll get those removed. Then I need to fit the headlights and wire all those up. Then I need to plumb in wiring or route in all the wiring, if I can remember where they go. And then I should be able to mount the bumper. So this is a temporary bumper. It hasn't got any headlight washer caps, it hasn't got a badge, it hasn't got grills. But it's hopefully going to do me for me to get an MOT on it. And then I can get it back on its wheels, in which case I can top up the coolant, get the engine running again. I can then rebolt my seats in. I think that was everything on the list. Oh, I need to put this thing in the rad. You'll see. That's fine. So let's get these out. Super simple to get these out. I've got plastic trim piece there. I've got an 8mm bolt there and a 13mm bolt there, which is also holding the horn bracket on. So let's get the tools that I need and get removing. Solid. We'll have to try and zip tie this to the bumper somehow to stop it from floating around, because the Z4 bit did actually give this a little bit of structure. So, hey, passenger side. So this is where we're going to have some more alignment issues, because if I line that headlight up so it's nice with the wing, then what you find is down here, that wing has gone up. So if I line that up with that one there, it's a bit too far out, and this one lines up a bit too far out. So I'm going to have to try and make some adjustments. I think what needs to happen is both wings need to come in together. I think they've gone slightly out and up. But let's get it as close as we can and see if we can get it lined up. She's got eyes again. Just test the lights now. I consider that a success, lads. Now I need to get the alignment also isn't bad. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Managed to wandangle it a little bit. Now I just need to get the cross member into the bumper bar. Okay, so I think this is where we're starting to see some of our alignment issues. This isn't mounted properly. but this is kind of loosely mounted. It can't really go left or right, but you can see the gap here that, you know, I'm not going to be able to pull that in really much. And this is where I think, where I was saying before, if you can hear me because there's a lawnmower going, the wings and the headlights have kind of gone out and up a little bit. So what I think we can do is take these 2 bolts out and these 2 bolts out, and we can maybe put a ratchet strap somewhere here, maybe even tie them together and then ratchet strap them so it kind of pulls it together properly. That's what I'm thinking. The other option I can do is I can get it bolted back together, take it to my mate Joel, who's doing my Z4 bumper for me, who's got a accident repair body shop, and say, can you sort the alignment out for me, because I don't really know what I'm doing, and it'd be nice to get it done properly. I get it mounted up now properly, not properly, I can get it mounted up now kind of temporarily, just to get it for an MOT. Alignment isn't an MOT failure, thankfully. But yeah, that's kind of where we are. I'll get this bolted down properly, we'll break the zip ties out and start zip tying it left, right and centre just to get it secure, so at least I can take it for a drive. I'm not going to have any grills, and I'm not going to have a badge for the time being. Maybe I'll put like a Renault badge on it or something, that'll be funny, won't it? Getting there though, she's got her face back.
Alright, time to fit the under tray. And I've got some nice shiny new screws to bind it, because all the ones I took out were rusty. So let's get the under tray fitted.
Airbox in and done. Now I need to get the wheels back on, lower it down, secure the seats, bolt them back in, bolt the seat belt back in, and then fill it with coolant. What I've done here, I need a new one of these because the bolts, the flanges that hold the bolts in are snapped. So I need a new cover entirely. But for the time being, I've just put some plastic lugs in here just to stop it from coming loose. But it is needed because it holds the top of the radiator in place. She's getting there. Face, lungs, getting there. And there she is back on her wheels for the first time in what feels like a very long time. That's not an oil leak from the car, I spilt them. Yeah, she's got a face, she's got feet, she's got lungs. Next thing to do is just bolt the seats back in, top the coolant up, give her some blood. Right. On the button. Gotta clean my ABS codes again. Let's see if the water's circulating. Well, she's running. Just taking her around the block for a spin. She overheated, led the system. Now the fans are kicking in lovely and her temperature is voila. Time for an MOT now, so let's see if she passes. The only thing it hasn't got is a front number plate, which I'm going to need to take it to the MOT centre. I have got the front plate for it, but it's a little bit worse for wear. So as you know, I've got some excellent panel beating skills. Let's see if we can get it back into shape. You're going to need a hard surface and a lump hammer. Mint. Well, here we are, folks. There we go, folks. Here we are, folks. We are on our maiden drive in the Z. Currently on my way to the MOT station, having done some last-minute fixes. She's driving well. I had to bleed the coolant a little bit more on the way down here. But yeah, she's driving really well, really impressed. And the sound, oh, first time I've driven a 6-cylinder petrol BMW engine, and the sound on this thing is mental, and it's just running a standard airbox and everything. It's got some center, it's got the first resonator set deleted out of these exhausts, just straight piped. So the exhaust is a little bit more fruity than standard, but the engine is standard and it sounds fantastic up in the rev range. Absolutely fantastic. Gears feel good, clutch feels good. The only niggle I've got is I've definitely got like a subframe bush or something gone at the back, on the rear. Just a bit of a thud sometimes when changing up or getting on the throttle quickly, you know. But I'm impressed. So fingers crossed me. Let's see how the MOT goes. Well, pleased to say she passed her MOT. We had a few advisories on some rear brakes and a bit of surface rust. Not surprised after being sat for a while, really, but I've since replaced the rear pads for new ones. I did suspect a slightly sticky caliper piston, but I've greased that up now, so let's see how that goes. After the MOT, it was time for a well-deserved wash and that maiden drive. So enjoy these last little images and stay tuned for the next episode.